Hello and good morning, Blue Jays fans, and welcome to another edition of Jays Latest. I am your host, Craig Borden. We're going to talk all things Toronto Blue Jays right here on Jays Latest. Make sure you hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons if you're a big Blue Jays fan. We will be here every day. So let's talk about how this one started last night. Is unfortunately the Toronto Blue Jays die in the middle innings here and lose 7-2 against the best team in Major League Baseball, the Milwaukee Brewers. So in the midst of them, obviously, like I said, coming up shorthanded. I want to start off by saying that Shane Bieber was incredible in this one and looked insanely good for 5 innings. I still think that he got pulled out a little too early in this one, even though he was approaching 92 pitches. Picks up his first loss as a Blue Jay of the season. 5 1/3, 5 hits, 2 earned runs, 6 strikeouts, and allowing a home run. But on that note, that was the only bad pitch he threw in the first at 5 innings. Um, it was just insane to watch. So, in the top of the sixth, Andrew Montero hits a home run that kind of almost catalyzes and reinvigorates the Milwaukee Brewers lineup and gets them moving. And in the midst of that whole thing, before that, though, um, Shane Bieber was untouchable. Like I said, he was mowing through this lineup. There was only like one hit in the whole game through for 5, and then in the 6th inning, that is where things started to go awry for the Toronto Blue Jays and Shane Bieber. I just want to make sure it's on record that he was incredible his first 5 innings because he was fun to watch and he went toe to toe with Freddie Peralta, who we'll talk about here in a moment. So the unfortunate reality of it is the 6th inning turned into a 5-run inning as the Brew Crew just figured out and how to go and go. So we'll talk about that in just a moment as well. Let's talk all things Freddie Peralta because wow, is Freddie Peralta on some kind of an under level right now. He is clearly showing that he is ace worthy in a very talented pitching rotation for the Milwaukee Brewers, but he has thrown 24 consecutive scoreless innings at this point, and that's enough for 4 of his different starts right now. So he is otherworldly. En route to a win, obviously his 16th of the season. 6 innings, 1 hit, one damn hit. That's it. 1 walk. So he only had 2 base runners in the first 6 innings of this game, and he struck out 8 Blue Jays, which is an anomaly amongst itself because this team is one of the least striking out Blue Jays teams in recent memory and in the major leagues this season. So keep that in mind because that one is an odd one that Freddie Peralta got that far out in front of them to be able to get 8 strikeouts in 6 innings. So let's talk this offense because this offense, like I said, did not get going for the Blue Jays and the Milwaukee Brewers. The Brew Crew ended up just lining up the pillows and continued to move around. So it just felt like while we were watching this unfold in the 6th inning, oh man, another one, and then another one, and then a run scored, and another one. It was like I think death by 1,000 hits is about the best way I can say it. They just continued unloading on the Toronto Blue Jays bullpen after Shane Bieber had left this one. Brandon Little only able to record 1 out while we're allowing 2 more earned runs after Bieber left. Louis Varland comes in, allows a run as well on 2 hits, finally gets us out of the 6th inning, but it took us 3 different pitchers to get out of the 6th inning. And to me, it just makes me wonder what if. I know where his pitch count was, but Shane Bieber had been dealing at that point. I would have felt better trying a little longer and letting him deal with that, especially with the fun we've been having in this Toronto bullpen of late. Any little extra from the starting pitching, any little extra, sleep, rest, whatever the hell you can get for any of these guys in the bullpen is only going to help. But then Justin Brule comes in the next inning, tries to pitch a clean inning, but in the midst of that clean inning, I think the Blue Jays kind of left him out to dry a little bit because why not at this point? 1 inning, 3 hits, allows 2 earned runs, but gets 2 strikeouts at the same time. Tommy Nance and Yai Rodriguez would get things to close out for the Blue Jays, but it was rough watching those 2 innings back to back, 7 earned runs in just 2 innings of work. Rogers Center went quiet a little bit. Blue Jays were able to get a little bit of offense in the 7th, where it looked like maybe with the smallest of glimmers of hope, especially with this team, they were able to put some things together and get things going on the scoreboard, so this wasn't at least a shutout. It was capped off by a Davis Schneider 2-run single that scored Miles Straw and Bo Bichette. So, like I said, every little bit counts. At least this wasn't a shutout, but losing 7-2 does not help them. Fun with it. This is going to be the matchup of matchups for the Blue Jays remaining a schedule, and the Brewers had been on a slide, so it would have been nice to capitalize on that. Hopefully this does not reinvigorate them, because tonight, not only are we going to have another big pitching matchup, the Toronto Blue Jays are also going to see their best player on the other side of the field come back. Jackson Chourio is going to be in this lineup to this evening, or this afternoon, I guess, Saturday. He's such an igniter for this club. Jackson Chourio is one of the younger, best, funnest players to watch in baseball. Truly a five-tool guy, and I'm glad I get to watch him a little bit more closely tonight, but I'm not happy he's facing the Toronto Blue Jays at the same time. So that is what will be on the docket for tonight, along with the pitching matchup that I had mentioned. Kevin Gausman versus Quinn Priester. Quinn Priester is 11-2 in a 3.44 ERA, and holy shnikes has he been cruising just like Freddie Peralta over his last 15 games. Yes, I said 15 games. He has an 83 innings stretch where he has only allowed 3.01 earned runs. He has been phenomenal. And if you wanted to say, well, Craig, that's a big window, what about his most recent starts? Oh, in his last 7 starts, he's a mere 4-0 with a 3.18 ERA in 40 innings. Just saying. He's been on fire. So, very, very, very good season for what used to be the young Pittsburgh prospect. So imagine that freaking rotation if Kim Pricer was still in Pittsburgh with all their guys. Oh, crazy. So on the mound for us tonight, Kevin Gausman will look to continue that similar success in his last 7 games. Currently 2-3, not getting some run support. 3.07 in 44 innings in his last 7. He's been doing very well as well. He has a little bit of a blip last week against the Miami Marlins, in which he allowed 4 earned runs on 7 hits. But before that, he had been doing very, very good and had been very efficient through many of his outings. So that is the matchup today. Not many of these guys have faced each other. Shocking, because they're in different divisions, right? Andres Gimenez has faced Priester before. Currently has 1 home run and 3 at bats. Yeah, that's really it. Nobody else has faced each other. Christian Yelich has faced Gausman 11 times and not very good for the Brewers. And we'll get to see maybe Danny Jansen again today playing for the Milwaukee Brewers. So that's fun. And if you missed it, his old buddy, his old roommate, his old pal, best friend for life, whatever you want to call it, Ryan Borucki has signed a minor league deal with the Toronto Blue Jays and is reporting to the Buffalo Boys. Also, Eloy Jimenez. Yes, you remember that Eloy Jimenez, who was traded at the trade deadline last year from the White Sox to the Baltimore Orioles. This former monster bat for the White Sox has been going through a rough patch. So he was DFA'd. Out there, he's running around. And then there's another one that the Blue Jays, I'm wondering if they're going to knock on the door too, because I'm kind of thinking, why not? Walker Buehler has been released by the Boston Red Sox, so that is a young talented arm that could potentially be an impact arm for somebody looking for some depth. And honestly, I wonder if the Blue Jays were able to swoop in and take him and bring him in as a bullpen arm, what Walker Buehler would look like in the back end of a bullpen. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So, talk to you about that. Well, all things the Toronto Blue Jays right here on Jay's Latest. Make sure you tune in daily. We are here every day for a quick video about what's going on in Toronto Blue Jays baseball. Make sure you head over to jaybirdwatching.com. My other show, we had a great interview the other day with the voice of the Buffalo Bisons and all the wonderful talent he has gotten to see, from veterans to young prospects and everything this year. So check that out at jaybirdwatching.com. Talk to you soon. Hit those likes, share, and subscribes, and go Blue Jays.